Hey, it's Monica B, and welcome to the Bringing Ayurveda to Life podcast. This is episode number 44, where we talk about making the most of the spaces in your day. So, there is value, you guys, in using your time wisely because we only get so many hours in the day. However, there's also value in consciously creating extra space because in the space is where things are created, anyways. You know how, like, when you're doing something mindless but totally enjoyable, like maybe you're on vacation, or maybe you go on a walk, or you're in nature, or maybe you're even just simply brushing your teeth, or you're in the shower or something. You get all these like cool ideas, right? It's because we've allowed some space. And when we're wall to wall, we don't really have much time for space or creation because everything's all jammed tight together. So the contrast between the two is, like, sometimes we get so busy, we do feel wall to wall with meetings, kids, housework, work, volunteering, projects, etc. And by the time we find a little bit of space, we just fritter, like TV fritter or scrolling fritter or whatever kind of frittering that we're like, I don't even know what I did, but 20 to 30 minutes is completely gone and I can't get it back. So I will also say that frittering is okay if it's like conscious. Like if you're like, I'm going to deliberately organize my bookshelf by rainbow colors. Okay, great. Consciously do that. Or I'm going to consciously decide to take a break and do some flipping through a magazine. Fine, consciously fritter. But where we get in trouble is when we mindlessly zone out on screens and scrolling, and it feels like our time has been stolen. And it does. And it tanks our productivity as well. And then we kind of get mad at ourselves, like, why did I spend my time on that? Can I have my life back? If you feel like that, you might also want to check out episode number 43 called Stop Distracting Yourself and Do the Things That Matter. That is found on HeyMonicaB.com. Just click podcast in the upper menu and find episode number 43. But if you feel that way, like, why did I spend my time on that? That's cool, because that's your wisdom talking to you. It's our higher self kind of giving us clues like, might want to rethink this, maybe make a new choice, right? It might be our wisdom trying to tell us to spend time in a different way. So let's talk today about how to strike a balance between the ultra busy and the fritter nonsense space, and instead find conscious time to make the most of the spaces in your day. So my first tip is to make a list of 20-minute wonders. These are the things that you can do in 20 minutes or less. It doesn't have to be a big old fancy list. It doesn't even have to be super extensive, but like 3 to 5 things that'll take you 20 minutes or less. Write it down and then put it in front of your office or wherever you will see it with your eyes. Like, visual reminders are so important because the eyes are one of the 5 senses, and it's how we receive information from the outside world. And so if we put it in front of our eyes, it becomes a focal point, right? So anything that takes you less than 20 minutes, let's say maybe a 15-minute walk, maybe you'll just go through all your emails responses as fast as you can, maybe 20-minute yoga practice, maybe 7-minute meditation. For me, I'll do a 20-minute like bar method online or something, or whatever you choose to do for 20 minutes or less. They should inspire you. They should feel good. And speaking of inspiring, I've also put a list together of 10-minute wonders, which you can download if you go check out the show notes from this episode at HeyMonicaB.com. Go to podcast in the top. This is episode number 44. So check out the show notes there. And I've got already a created list of 10-minute wonders that take 10 minutes or less that you can do to sort of revive and refresh and make the most of those spaces in your day. And then again, you have an extra sheet where you can add your 20 minutes on there. So that's number 1. Make a list of 20-minute wonders. Number 2, when I know things are going to be bonkers, I schedule even less things to allow for more space for the unexpected. If that doesn't twist your brain around a little bit, right? Because we think that when we are going to be bonkers, we need to schedule ourselves really tightly in order to do a good job. But actually, I'm like, if I know things are going to be bonkers, I'm going to create as much padding as I can in case things go longer, in case things go weird, in case for anything, I like to have the extra padding. And that way, if I get everything done and I crush it, yeehaw, I got all kinds of extra space to go have some fun. That's number 2. Number 3 is juicy. It's intentional hobby and playtime. for whatever, like vision boards, recipes, playing music or instrument, or just like, messing around maybe on Pinterest for like, I don't know, bathroom remodel, or like how to redo your living room organization or whatever. I don't know if people still do that. What about stargazing or even walks? What about trampoline jumping or playing a little video game or something with your kiddo? Something like that can be intentional. Playtime. You're like, I'm done working. I'm going to play now. And this is what playtime means for me. We are meant to play. We're meant to have art. We're meant to have beauty. We're meant to put our hands on stuff and build something. We are meant to connect to our bodies, to sort of just enjoy ourselves. It doesn't always have to be overusing our eyeballs on computer screens. Okay, uses our mind in a different way, and we feel more connected when we actually use more of our 5 senses to do that. So number 4, here's a work tip for those of you that are wall-to-wall drowning in meetings. Number 4 is end meetings at 45 minutes, not 60 minutes. Nobody should have a 60-minute meeting. Make it 45 minutes. If you can't get done in 60 minutes, or if you can't get done in 45 minutes, you're probably not going to be able to get it done in 60 minutes either. Schedule meetings for 45 minutes. Make them efficient. That way you'll have time to go potty, get water, and transition to the next meeting that maybe starts at the top of the hour. Maybe you can even do a stretch or head, shoulders, knees, and toes, or whatever you want between those meetings. So those are the 4. Let me repeat them really quickly. Number 1, make a list of 20-minute wonders. Number 2, when things are going to be bonkers, schedule even less things to allow for more space for the unexpected. Number 3 is intentional hobby and playtime, just as important as work time. Make space for that. And number 4 is never have another 60-minute meeting. End meetings at 45 minutes. So you guys, we need space. We need space in our minds. We need space in our time. We need space for our breath. Right? Space is where creation happens. Space is where calm happens. Space and time is when we allow the universe to help us along versus feeling like we have to constantly push our own agenda. And that is exhausting. So my friends, embrace the space. Make some. Love it up. Enjoy the pauses. There is just as much power in those moments of surrender and space as there is in pushing ahead and pushing forward, right? So how will you find and schedule extra space into your day? That's your homework. Most likely you have more than you think. You may be distracted on stuff that doesn't matter to you. So if that goes away, poof, you just found some space. Time is infinite, so it's all about swapping in and out what matters to you and what does not. And while you do that, don't expect to jam it all in. Like, I'm a production junkie. I love to jam stuff in. But when I do that, I don't find my balance or happiness there, like at all. Create some space, create some flow, create some downtime, love time, creative time, breath work time, me time, and everything else will flow much better. And trust me, you'll begin to feel like yourself again. We're meant to flow. We're meant to have space. We're meant to wander a little bit, so long as we allow ourselves some space to do that and do it in a way that actually promotes healing and balance to our 5 senses, not just noodling on the doodad. Right? So my friends, I hope this helped you today. If it did, share with others who need it. It's our job to keep the goodness flowing. We all deserve good teachings and helpfulness in our lives. So be a source of light and share this with others. Meanwhile, find me at HeyMonicaB on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Love you much. Till next time, as we keep bringing Ayurveda to life.